Hello. I just want to tell you thank you very much for spending time doing some work and sending in those pictures and those videos. Thank you so much about showing me the videos of you being mindful in your mindful place. Remember, mindfulness is a practice. You have to practice it. That means you have to find a time to do it every day, once or more. And the more you practice, the better you will get and the more effect it will have. Anyway, today I want to go over a strategy for doing the 24 game. Now, I have one card up here, a couple sets of numbers, has 8 and 5. It also has 7 and 11. But the target number is 3. 3. Now, one surefire way to know if that 3 satisfies a fact family with either 7 and 11 or 8 and 5 is to know your math facts for all of those numbers. And the way to get those straight is to do t-tables for them all. So I'm going to go over how to do a t-table right quick. So if you're doing plus and minus, you may as well do all your t-tables. And since we're doing the 24 game, you may as well go all the way up to 12. So I'm just going to do these 4, and it'll be for a 5 and for an 8 and for a 7 and for an 11. So they're going to be plus. So 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 8 is 8. 0 plus 7 is 7, and 0 plus 11 is 11. And we go from the 0 all the way down to the 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we'll stop there. So forth and so on. Make sense? So once you have all of that and you fill all of that in, you're set. Now, I know that the difference between 8 and 5 is 3. But 7 and 11, I don't think I can figure out a way to make that happen. Because if I take 7 from 11, I end up with 4. And I don't have any more numbers left. I just had to choose from these two. If I add it, I end up with 18, and that's not my target number, 3. So I know that can't be. It's got to be this set right here. And it's got to be 8. Take away 5. That's the one. Now let's do something that a little bit harder. I do want you to do those t-tables for plus and minus, all the way to 12. Let's take a look at some that are 1 dots but will require multiplication and division. So let's start with these two. There's a 9 and there's a 1, and there is a 5 and a 54. Wow! Where did that number come from? Well, since now we can use multiplication and division, what that means is when we do our t-tables as our strategy to help us, we have to go all the way from 1 times to 12 times. Yeah. Somewhere in there is the 9 times. And 9 times 6 is 54. So yeah, 54 can be in there if we are introducing multiplication and division. So I'm taking a look at these and I got to know what my target number is, and it happens to be 9. Is there a way I can combine 5 and 54 or 9 and 1 to get 9? Well, if we use plus and minus, can't get it that way. 5 plus 54, 59. 54 minus 5, 49. When I'm looking at these two numbers, I'm nowhere near 9. So I'm banking that these probably are not going to be my numbers. These probably will. But addition and subtraction is not the way to go. Perfect. That's it. Those aren't too tough. Let's try something a little more challenging. All right. This next one, this particular group of numbers has 3 numbers in it. It's a 2 dot, and there's two ways to get the answer. So we have a 5, a 20, and a 2 in one set. There's a 2, a 14, and a 4 in the other set. And the number between them that we're trying to get, 7. That's our target number. 7. That's an odd number. Oh, I can see here that there's a 14. I know there's a relationship between 7 and 14. 2 7s makes a 14. So I'm going to start with this one. Let's see. I have a 4, and I have a 2, and I have a 14. What could I do? Well, it's going to take more than one operation because there's 3 numbers. You're going to have to do something to 2 numbers first, and then put that second number in there. So let's start like this. What if I do this? 4 divided by 2. If I have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I want to separate them into 2, 1, 2, I go 1, 1 for you, 1 for you, 1 for you, and my answer is what one of them gets, because they get the same thing, and that's 2. So the answer is 2. Now I use the 4, check. I use the 2, check. The last thing I have left is the 14. So what could I do with a 14 and a 2 to come up with 7? Yeah, you're right. 14 divided by 2 is 7. It was this set after all. But I'll tell you, that's not the only way to possibly get that answer. There's another way to get it. What if rather than dividing 4 by 2, we took 2 away? What answer will we get? 2. And we'd still end up with the same 2 that we used before when we divided 14 by 2 to get 7. So yes, that one sign changed, but that one sign changed the way we got it. So not only is this the group, there's 2 ways to get it.